What's up, broskiis? Keanu here on the profile. Kane sorting some of our 2021 Mega 10 pulls.
Hey guys.
That's him. So he'll be in the background. I'm going to be explaining this deck, this concoction. I will be the first to admit, because a lot of people won't admit this. This is not necessarily an original idea, but I have been testing it a lot. I've kind of made some changes. The first time I saw this deck, it was a couple months ago. I think there was a remote duel. I believe the channel's name is Lithium. He's really big, but I saw what he was playing and I kind of liked it, and I was like, man, I've never even heard of I'd never picked up Magical Musketeers, so I went and picked them up, and yeah, this variant is pretty crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Yeah, but see, if this is your first time here, you know, of course, as always, like the video if you like the video. End up liking the video. Comment down below what you want to see next. Leave us a comment what you would change. Probably nothing, because as always, you know, we're on 10. Also, consider subbing to the channel. You know, we do this pretty regular. We're out here. So first up, Triple Kid Brave. This just digs into your deck. So all of them have this like clause, like if a spell or trap card is activated in their zone, their effects activate in a separate chain. Also, you can activate Magical Musketeer spell and trap cards from the hand, and that's what's pretty devastating about this deck, because you don't have to commit anything to the board. Sometimes like the most assuming thing like you'll end on is like pretty busted or pretty explosive. And I do play this deck going in second, so I'll explain those cards when I get there. But when you activate one in his, you can discard a Magical Musket card and draw 2. So it really gets you to your, you know, just absolute blowout cards. Triple Starfire, she special summons one when one's activated in her column. I usually go for Casper. She's kind of like the thing that like really makes its deck explode. Going second, you open up her spoiler, like a Dark Ruler, no more. Like you just kind of go off from there. You kind of blow up their board, and then it's really hard for them to recover because you kind of like just, you know.
Additionally, she is the princess of Tamaran, so
That too. Next up,
a little spicy rough.
Triple Caspar. Caspar adds a spell or trap card when one is activated in his column. So usually I go from Starfire into Casper, and then you know, go from there. Most of the time you're searching out your Cross Domination. That's the most broken card in the deck, but a lot of these cards are pretty broken. 2 Doc. I've seen people play 1. He's actually pretty good, because when one's activated in his column, you just add Magical Musket back to your hand. Pretty crazy, especially in the later phases of the game, like turn 3, turn 4, when you blow through a lot of your resources, he kind of gets them back. Calamity. When you activate one in her, you can special summon 1 in defense. So, you know, just kind of helps you build your board presence. 1 is like, you know, more than enough. So I don't play Wild. I did have Wild. Matter of fact, I even had him in my side deck at one point. But by the time his effect, because he's the one that shuffles back 3, I believe when you draw 1. But honestly, by the time you get there, you've kind of lost. Like, you shouldn't be that late in the game where, like, you know, that's gonna be super relevant. For the next engine, Amazement Administrator Artelinko. This card's busted. This is like I don't want to say it's better Altergeist, but in some ways, I mean, I don't want to say it's better multi-figure, but in some ways it kind of is. So when you activate a trap card, when a trap card is activated, he special summons himself. He's 2600 body. Also, when your opponent normal summons or special summons a card, he can equip a trap card from the deck onto that card. And it's usually, well, it's pretty much only, in this deck, it's pretty much only going to be the Book of Moon card, essentially. Also, once per turn, you can banish like any number of the trap cards, the Administrator Amazement trap cards, and pop that many cards on the field. So, on the, kind of on the crackback, like if you were to set up the Dark Ruler no more, or if you hit Imperm or something like that, bring him down, like you can kind of like pop like a couple cards on the board, just kind of like get rid of their stuff. The only monster hand trap we play is Nibiru. This was like a this was just pretty much because like I knew like most people in the area, whether it be at Corner Magic, whether it be like Kane or like anybody else, they play like a lot of combo decks, and a lot of people have stopped respecting the Biru. So this is really great, and it's easy to side out. It's just if the matchup's not there, it's super easy to side out. So you know, to each his own. But a lot of people are not respecting it, so you can get it off a couple times. Best spell card in the deck, Cross Domination. It just zeroes out your target one face-up monster, zeroes it out, and negates its effects. I like using this in the battle phase because most cards can't negate in the damage step or anything like that. So when they go to swing, I'm like, okay, cool, damage step, Cross Domination, and then they attack with a 0-attack monster. And, you know, it's quite funny. Amazement time ticket. So on your turn, when you activate this, you pay 800 to search your Arlinko. On your opponent's turn, you search one of the trap cards. You know, of course, we're using this like turn one. Ideally, a lot of times I like having Casper face up, or Caspar or Starfire. So I like normal summon Starfire. Amazing time ticket search Arlinko, and then Starfire separate chain. I'll special summon like a Casper or something. Start building up crazy board presence like that. These engines like synergize like crazy well. Pretty sick, honestly. Heavy hitters, more like you can OTK with this deck, but I mean, it's kind of like far and few between. Like you could play Forbidden Droplet. The only problem with that card is like you kind of don't want to like be pitching all of your cards out of your hand. So like that's the only problem with that. So they have a board of like 3 monsters or like 3 cards. You have to like pitch 3 out of your hand to blank all those, pretty much, for Forbidden Droplets, and then you don't have a follow-up after that. So Dark Ruler No More is perfect because it just blanks it out, and you usually aren't gonna beat them in the face like that bad anyways. You just Dark Ruler, blow up their board, and then usually end you know, with like four disruptions in your hand. 1 Upstart.
Honestly, people don't talk enough about how great Upstart Goblin is. I feel like just generally speaking, I don't see enough people play it, which is disappointing because like I've heard people like, oh, we could do Upstart, but that gives your opponent 1,000. And
also there's a great strategic advantage to doing this because like Upstart makes your deck 39 cards, right? Which I find a lot of people struggle in general, like knowing how to side deck. When you're side decking against a certain matchup, at least you know Upstart Goblin is not that essential to your strategy.
Yeah.
So
if you're worried about an extra 1,000 life points, you're honestly fucking lame.
Yeah, that too.
Trash.
But it's an easy side deck card. This plus any of the Magical Musketeers. Damn, I almost forgot I was playing. Is just instant, like crazy advantage. Next for the trap cards, my personal favorite one is Desperado. Just pops a card on the field.
Sitting in an old Monte Carlo.
That too. Magical Musketeer Last Stand. One of the better ones. It's a counter trap. It negates a spell or trap card. While you have a Magical Musketeer face up on the field. And that's one of the problems I was explaining to Kane in our matchup. The only real downside of this deck is like, if they get rid of your Musketeer on field, like all of these cards are dead, you know? So you just gotta learn how to play that. One Dancing Needle against most matchups is all you need. Against some matchups, it's kind of like, man, you like kind of auto win, because in our area specifically, there's like, not only does Kane play zombies, there's like 2 guys at Corner Magic that played zombies. There was like one of Kane's friends play zombies. If you know anything about that deck, like you get rid of the Doom King, you're kind of like in the clear. So stuff like that,
that's
like
Mad Golden Lord hits.
And that's kind of like this is kind of like random matchups. This is another easy card to side in and out of. Next up, 3 Amaze Attraction Horror House. So this card's crazy. This one's the one that comes out of the deck to book a moon your opponent. Also, if you just hard draw it, you can just set it. When they summon something, just book a moon it. You know, or it gives your it negates its effect until the end of the turn. You can target one, and then that's on your turn. It targets one, negates its effect. On your opponent's turn, it book a moons it. And the last cards we play in the deck is Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence and Arlinko is kind of like the old school like multi-faker imperm. So like you would imperm, like then a resolution of that multi-faker would come out. Then you would go get your siliquotis, whatever it's called. And so Arlinko is kind of like the same way. Like you're going second, like you imperm Arlinko, and then like go from there. So pretty crazy. I was running Pot of Desires. I'll kind of explain that really quick. The only reason I cut that is because in testing, I would Desires and banish all 3 of my Amazement trap cards. So I would end up with 2 Arlinkos and no targets in deck. So that's the reason I don't do it. I've seen a lot of people do that. I think the first person I saw play a deck similar to this was Lithium. He was playing like two Desires. I just don't agree with that. But other than that, do your thing. For the extra deck, 3 max, best link 1 in the game. I don't even care what you say. This card's like stupid advantage.
That shit's literally nowhere near Link Spider.
It's infinitely better. But this one's crazy.
What about Link Rebo?
Alright, you got me there. But this one's crazy because we link summon it. He has the same thing as everything else. You can activate the magical musket spells and trap cards out of your hand. But depending on what your opponent has, so if you want to say like monsters, you can special summon like that many magical musketeers to your field. Spells and traps, you can add that many to your hand. I kind of don't have to explain why that's just insane, because like if you Dark Ruler or monster heavy like deck, then sometimes you can special summon out 3 cards, go to Borreload Sword, drag it, and kind of go from there. Also, spell and trap card heavy deck, you know, same thing. You can just add a bunch of spells and traps. IP, rarely go into it. Nightmare Phoenix, rarely go into it. Nightmare Unicorn, rarely go into it. There should be a Cerberus here. You will see this with 14 cards. Topologic Trisbana, just depending on the matchup. Mind Your Business on the sleeve. Borreload Dragon. Boral Sword Dragon, depending on the matchup. Utopia the Lightning. Utopia. Tornado Dragon. Damn, hope that's still in shot. Exciton, Abyss Dweller, like I said. Had a Nightmare Cerberus. Really, all you're going to is Max and Boral Sword, to be honest with you.
I think the first draft just had a Nightmare Mermaid, no?
No, not at all. I'm still currently undefeated with this deck, so you know, at me. Now for the side deck, this is what I sided this past weekend. I don't know if I'll be playing again this weekend. We'll probably play next weekend for sure. So this is my side, 3 Phantasme.
Live stream?
Live stream? Yo, let us know in the comments if you want to see a live stream of that. So it's a double nut. Okay, so triple Phantasme. Crazy card. Really good card, depending on the matchup. I was main decking this, but then I played against a couple of people that literally did not go into links. So it was kind of like a dead card, whatever. You live and you learn. Another card I don't see a lot of people side anymore is the Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode. Kind of for those,
pretty solid.
Yeah, just for those silly boards, like we don't really,
Clear someone's board out real quick.
Yeah, really easy, and then you just kind of like pop it and go from there. You could next level and play like a Winged Dragon of Raw in the extra and the side, but that's super janky.
Could just straight up like throw an obelisk in there with a couple soul crossings.
Ooh. Act up. 2 Denko Rekka. Against Backroads, just GG. I actually played Kane against his pretty busted Horde Eldritch build.
Is that the one that destroys zombies?
No, you can't use trap cards.
Which one destroys zombies? I feel like it's There's a card that's just like, if this battle's a zombie, just get rid of that shit.
Nigga, that was on Duel Links.
Nah. It's the one with red hair. That's the thing.
But
What's that?
I don't remember. But Dinko is pretty crazy. I sided this against Kane 2 times, never saw it. But against those really like of course against those really controlled decks, that's just a blowout card. One Radiant, one of the Godarla, sorry. Dragoon outs, pretty much. Twin Twisters, pretty crazy. And the absolute craziest card of the extra deck. The craziest cards. Evenly matched, triple evenly matched. And then I side, and I have one more Dancing Needle. Damn, that was GOAT format. So evenly matched is honestly kind of absurd, because like you can. So what I did was you can normal summon, your any one of your cards, go into battle phase, evenly match, cut their board down to like those 2 cards, and then on res, separate chain, like search something off your Magical Musketeers or whatever, build your board presence that way. Pretty good card. It's a blowout card against a lot of decks. I played against Sky Striker online, and as you know, like that's just pretty much game over. You banish all their spells and then go from there. Also, if they make you go first, that's fine, because game 1 you go second anyways. Game 2 they'll probably make you go first, but we still play like we're going second. And then sometimes you just open this, set it, like pass. They swing for a whole bunch of damage, you evenly match, because we don't care about life points. So this Dancing Needle could literally be anything. Some matchups is just too good, but I mean it's highly searchable. That's pretty much it for that one. Let us know in the comments what you think about this deck. Leave a like. If you liked the video, please consider subbing. Also, if you want to see that live stream of a tournament, not this weekend, but next, let us know in the comments. Go follow our Instagram. Ken, you got anything left to say about this deck?
Not about the deck, but think about this. 2007, the world is taken by storm by a little reality show known as Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Fast forward 14 years, this year, in June 2021.
All right, so this is gonna be a tradition of me cutting Kane off.
Now,
we'll see you next time.